So welcome back to my channel. This is Gamer Dom, and yeah, I'm a sucker for buying something new, and I'm not disappointed this time. So this is Warlord's latest offering, Black Seas, naval warfare, as you can see here, 1770 to 1830. Basically the age of sail. Is it any good? Let's have a look. So I went out and splashed out on Warlord's latest offering to Wargaming, the Black Seas Wargame rules. A bit more than Wargame rules actually, because it comes as a complete set. So I bought the basic set. This is Master and Commander. It gives you everything you need to play the game to a reasonable level, actually. It gives you the rulebook, gives you a number of frigates and brigs to play with, and so you've got enough to play small-scale battles with the two sides, or they can become the focus on your sort of larger fleets if a buddy takes another side, and you build out your fleets. And of course, as with Warlords, they have a multitude of added extras, and I'm sure as the game grows, and it certainly seems to be getting some traction, we will see more and more ships appear, different nations appear. At the moment it's British, French and US, but I'm pretty sure, well, I know Spanish will be arriving, and hopefully some merchantmen. They've already talked about privateers. In fact, there's flags and things for privateers in these box sets. And I would imagine if there is the interest, then you may well see some of the other nations who had some sort of reasonable naval sort of amount of ships out there will come into the game and will be available for purchase. They're 1/700th scale ships, very, very detailed. And actually the beauty of them is that they can be pretty much any nation. I know the purists, and so yeah, this is my first point with this game. For those who are naval purists or generally historical reenactment purists, don't bother with these rules, right? These are good, fun rules. Like all Warlord games, I think, are based around having a fun game that's relatively simple to play, fairly challenging to master, but based around a historical situation. And that's what these rules are for. If you want to, you know, smell the sea air and the taste of the salt water and the sea dogs and what have you happening, then probably not these rules. If you just want to have a really good fun game that's entertaining, set in a period that you're interested in, like this is kind of fun. So yeah, as I was saying, the ships are 1/700th, and actually pretty nice. They are fiddly little buggers though, really fiddly. Little challenging to put together for those of us with big fat fingers, and even worse so if you want to try and rig them. And all the other finery. I'll show you some in a minute that I've done. I've kept them simple. I'm not a modeler, and as I've said many times on this channel, I'm a painter, a modeler, just to get the figures onto the table. That's my primary objective. Anyway, enough about my waffling. So the rules. I will show you a game in a minute, which is our second game. Jonathan and I up at the club got the rules, and you know, literally I had read them twice, and we played two games. We played the first scenario, which is a really simple well, two frigate game basically. You have two frigates going at each other across the map. Here we are. This is scenario one, and it's basically, the concept is two frigates who come across each other, and the simple thing is just to shoot at each other and get off the table. We then played, the one I'll show you is this one, scenario 2, Letter of the Marque, or the Marque. Basically it's a frigate defending a merchantman who have to try and get off the board with their loot, and some dastardly pirates, 3 of them, brigs, who try and take it off them. And it introduces a few of the additional rules. Now, I'll show that game in a bit so you can see what's going on. But there's been loads of videos about these games, so I won't go into the detail of the rules. Rules are pretty good, I think. As I say, very much from the historically flavoured emphasis on fun games. The biggest difference between this and if anyone's played Cruel Seas is obviously the wind. These are wind-driven ships, largely. I mean, there is rules for oar-driven ones, but at the moment it's just wind-driven ships. And therefore that dictates how you play. Now, we only played the basic wind rules, and they were challenging enough, because if you start heading into the wind, suddenly your ship is becalmed or slowed at best and becomes rather challenging. You can see here the chances of changing wind is fairly slim within the game. You need to roll 2d6 every turn, beginning of every turn. A 2 is becalmed, 3 changes wind direction, 11 changes wind direction, and 12 increases the wind swell. Everything else just carries on as normal. So holding the wind and being in the right position for the wind is crucial. And it also determines the sequence of play. So depending on which ship is deemed to be the first to have... So you imagine the wind blowing down the table. So if it's coming from left to right, the first ship that it would touch, if there was an imaginary line, is the first ship that moves, and then it sequentially move through. And that's quite a nice mechanic, and changes all the time as the game happens. Ships move at a fixed speed, depending on their sail systems. So they have battle sails, they have basic sails, very I forget what it's called now, limited sails, light sails I think it's called, yeah, that would be simple. They have battle sails, which is the sort of normal ones, and then they have full sails, but they can only take advantage of those depending on where the wind is coming. So you can only put full sails on when the wind is coming from behind. Now again, purists will say no, you know, actually, and it's quite true, wind coming up the jacksy of a boat when you're sailing is not where you want it. But these are simple rules, so there are some more advanced mechanics if you want to play them. Turning, you'll see in the game, is done with a very simple turning circle thing, which dictates how far you can turn your ship. Basically, if you're at battle sails, a frigate will move 5 inches, then can turn up to the red angle there, and then it can move another 5, and then again turn. If it was in full sails, it could then do another 5 beyond that, so it could do potentially 15, but not turn. If it's in light sails, it'd only do 1 move of 5. So there's a simple way of running the thing. And it's, you know, it's a very simple. Hitting is very easy. It's a basic to hit, modified by range, crew skill, target size, that sort of thing. All sort of thing you'd expect. Difference in this game is you roll D10 rather than D6, which takes a little bit of getting used to, and criticals are really important, and you get a lot of them, it seems. A 1 is an automatic critical, a 0 is an automatic miss, and criticals can have quite a devastating effect. Everything from your mast coming down to your causing a fire and potentially your ship exploding. Collisions come into it. Boarding actions, you'll see that in the game we played. Boarding is a crucial part of the game, particularly if you're playing privateers who are trying to get after some big fat merchantmen. And then there's all these additional rules, so ships on fire, raking, you can do repairs. We didn't get into repairs, but we certainly did raking. Different types of ammunition, didn't do that, but there's all sorts of rules for that. Once you reach a certain point of damage on your ship, there's a chance that your ship will strike its colours, basically surrender. There is, and the book also comes with about a dozen scenarios, whole load more rules about entanglement, damaging ships, firing as she bears. So as the ship moves, you can fire of opportunity, basically, at less effect, both in attacking and defensive play. So if your ship didn't fire in your turn, and somebody crosses past your ship, actually no, if the enemy passes your ship and you want to take advantage of that, you can fire as she bears at lesser chance of hitting, but it then means you can't then fire in your subsequent turn. So kind of nice little nuance. Musketry, initial broadside. Here's the additional rules for wind, we didn't get into that. Rules of engagement, didn't really get into that either. So there's lots of ads, different types of weather conditions, privateer rules, land fortifications. There's a couple of scenarios where you have to take on and land troops, sandbanks, shorelines. All of these things come into this, and you can bring more or less of them in as you want. I was thoroughly impressed. And now, caveat, I played 2 games so far. I've read the rules, I've looked at a lot of videos, I played 2 games, but it was great fun, and I really enjoyed it. I particularly also like, so you got some really big battles. You could do the Battle of Trafalgar if you wanted. But they have here basically all the army lists you could possibly want. There's all the different types of ships. There's the rigging of these ships, nightmare to do. There's all the terms. There's the cross section of what victory looks like. Different types of crew members. I mean, somebody who wrote this, the Italian guy who wrote this, I forget his name now, clearly had a huge love and interest in this period, and it shows in these rules. Here you go. So here's your types of ships. Ships of the line, you've got first, second, third, third large, third small, fourth, fifth and sixth class ships of the line. Each of those. So you think the HMS Victory, the big 100-gun ships, that's the first rate. The frigates are down at the 6th rate, and they all run between. Each of them have a size, they have a broadside number, they have whether they have bow or stern cannons as well, how many hit points they have, their turning circle. The bigger ships turn slower, as you'd expect. Also their rate of knots. So HMS Victory, for instance, will only do 3-inch move, whereas a frigate does 5. How many? The break points is basically when they need to test whether they strike their flags, i.e. surrender, and a points value, so you can create your armies, your own fleets, sorry. Then there's all the other types of things. The galley, which are rowing ships, basically, merchantmen, bomb kegs, basically to explode amongst the enemy. You've got brigs, schooners. You can see them all here, and all of them have their own point systems, and you'll see basically they've standardized all the nations, so ships are ships. It doesn't really matter what they are, which again the purists will dislike. For me, I think that kind of makes it fun and an interesting game. You can, however, is land fortifications, you can change your crews, so they can be regular, veteran or inexperienced. Experienced are a real liability. Veterans are extremely good. Then there's all sorts of upgrades you can put on your ship and pay for. This is where you can start to bring some of the character into the ship. So improved boarding nets, improved grappling nets, lucky, master, all these different things. More cannonades, privateer, sharpshooters. You can see there's a whole gambit of them with extra points associated with them, which kind of is nice. Then they've got national rules. So Great Britain, biggest fleet of its day, most powerful fleet of its day, they have a national characteristic of being drilled, which means they shoot more effectively, which is nice. They also have better crews, better commanders on their ships, better captains, so they can re-roll 1 failed skill test per game per ship, which is interesting. There's also a number of the historical characters from the period you can play, so you could even use Nelson if you wanted to. Extra 60 points, but he's pretty darn good, as you'd expect. There's also 3 famous ships, so you can play with the Victory, who has increased ability. The Billy Ruffian ship, which was a 74-gun third-rate ship, which was also at Trafalgar. Then there's another one, the Indefatigable. So then they all have slightly different nuances, and you've got the same for the French. So the French characteristics here, they are streamlined, which meant they were faster ships, but you can buy that rule for slightly less than it would for everyone else. They're better at aiming high, they're stronger, blah blah blah. You have to pay extra for those, but still it's worth it. Some extra ships, the Lorient, the Bougadeur, or whatever that is, and 2 of their special captains. The Spanish, here we go again, national characteristics, special ships. So you can see that where it's going. The Americans, Americans tended to have smaller ships. Well, they had frigates, but they were super frigates. They didn't have very many very big ships, but their frigates were set out to be extremely strong, much stronger than the conventional frigates. There's rules for playing campaigns. There is a campaign system being worked on. I know I'm in one of the groups where they're playtesting some campaign systems. So I have to say these rules are extremely well written. I really enjoyed them. This box set is terrific. It gives you everything you could possibly need to play the game, including a mat. It's not the best mat, but it's nice. It means you don't have to rush out and buy something special. It gives you enough ships to get going. Yeah, I thought it was a really good deal. So the Master and Commander set will set you back, well, if you buy it from Warlords, £50. But you'd be stupid to buy anything from Warlords direct. Go to someone like Goblin Games, Wayland, or any of the other second or the resale companies. They will give you 20%, 10% off that price. I bought mine from Goblin Games, and it cost me £40, which I didn't think was at all bad value. Within the kit you get 3 frigates and you get 6 brigs, plus all the rules, plus all the counters, everything you could possibly need. There's even the rulers, the mat, as I say, that's in there to allow you to play the game. And the models are delightful. There you go, there's my frigate. Done up as a British one. Fiddly, 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 but lovely models. Really detailed. For a 1/700th ship, very, very nice. There's my brig. Get 6 of these in this kit. And you can see I've kept the, you see that? I've kept the rigging really simple on these things. I've seen some people and they've done some serious works of art. You even get the rigging in this box set. So yeah, thoroughly recommend. Anyway, enough of my shenanigans. Let's get over to the game. So this was played down at the Farnborough Wargaming Club on the other Friday night, and was our second game. So there's probably some mistakes in the rules. So buyer beware. So we're doing the Letter of Marque, which is basically pirates trying to take the merchant ship. Merchant ship is the brown one there. We're defended by a frigate. And the dastardly pirates over there. The objective of the game.
Yeah, which board edge have you got to get on?
Game ends when either the merchant ship moves off the western edge with 2 or more of its loot counters on board. Oh, I need to put them on. Or the privateer fleet exits the gaming area holding 2 or more loot counters. The merchant ship has 3 loot tokens on it. Okay, so that's your objective, to try and capture them. If you make me strike colours, then you get everything. Right then. So the wind's coming this way, which means all your brigs move first, because the wind hits them first. And you've got the wind coming off your side, so you can move at battle sails maximum. I'm heading. Actually, I'm going to have to turn like that, aren't I? Because otherwise, I'm heading straight into the wind.
If I wanted to move full sails,
you would have to have it coming up your backside, basically.
Right. Okay. Interesting.
Interesting, he said. So you're moving at a base of 5. Ooh, here he comes, straight down the table.
Yeah. I'm hoping this is the right approach.
I don't know. So basically, privateers had a fearsome reputation. As a result, they have +2 when they try and grapple, and they get an extra 2d10 with a +2 modifier when they board in hand-to-hand.
Okay.
So when used against the merchantman only. So if you try and board the frigate, that doesn't happen.
So they're coming racing forward. Okay, so next in line,
And I'll try and move these cards round to sort of roughly equate.
oh, we have got markers somewhere, but
Okay.
mind you, you might want to just remember how they are. That's easiest that way. Isn't it? There are markers because you can put flags on the ships that then correspond to the markers. You can do it that way. So I need to do that. I haven't got round to it yet. So in terms of the wind direction coming down the table, the next one it strikes is probably the frigate.
Yeah.
But I can only move light wind, I think, light sail, I think there. Because I'm nearly going into it, yeah. Yeah. All right. So we'll do. To there. There's a turny thing. Oh, sorry. That's all right. Don't worry. I couldn't see for looking. And I'm this one. I'm going to do a bit of a turn, like that. Oh no, I can only do that one because I was heading into the winds, or sort of into the wind, so that gave me a maximum speed. The merchantman. Good evening.
Ooh, you managed to paint them all. I was actually thinking if somebody was interested in it.
Okay, so that was turn 1. Let's see where the wind changes for turn 2. Do you want to roll 2d6?
11.
Ooh. Yes, it changes. It moves. Move the arrow on the wind rose 1 step anti-clockwise.
Anti-clockwise?
Yeah.
Oh dear. So like that then?
It's just one. No, so hang on. It would just move it round the. Should have had it on the north. That was my mistake. So it was in that one.
Yeah.
We move it to that way.
Yeah.
That's anti-clockwise, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay.
So the wind's now coming that way round.
Interesting.
So that, how does that change the overall scheme of things?
So it's coming from here. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think your merchantman goes first.
Yeah, I think it's the merchantman first.
Then your frigate.
Then my frigate, and then your first brig. So that's changed the complexion a little bit, hasn't it? It also means I'm now moving more effectively speed-wise. So this had to be on. This could only go light sail because it was up against the wind. Now it'll go to battle sail then, and it'll only moves 3 each. Whoops. So I'm just basically going to do 2 lots of 3 straight forward like that, and I might.
He's coming straight for me.
He's, god damn it, and it's going to
happen.
It's going to turn a bit, just to try and capitalise on the wind direction a bit more.
Yeah.
So we'll go there. So that's him done. And then the frigate. He's going to stay at battle sail. I'm going to go 5. Oops. To there. Okay, so. Turn a little bit like that.
Ooh, I see.
And then he certainly is not. No, he is. To there. I think that'll do. I've got to be careful that I don't run into the.
I know, I was just thinking.
Yeah.
If that wind direction stays, that'll move first.
It will, but it's only going to move 3, and then I could turn.
Yeah.
So I might just, to be safe, do another little turn here, like that. That way, that should run up beside it.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's mine. No shooting. So it's your first brig over there.
So am I still at wings coming like that?
So you're now
There's slightly different angles.
yeah, I would say that one is definitely now only on light sail possible.
Yeah.
I think the other two
Okay.
are probably all right at the moment.
So light sail was 3, wasn't it?
No, they still move 5, but they only get one lot of 5. Yeah, the merchant moves 3. That's what you
That's sorry.
That's fine.
Got confused.
We're all learning. That one just went straight forward,
Yeah.
hoping for a wind change, huh?
Yeah. Oh, I'm moving them out of order. Sorry, but
Oh, it's.
probably doesn't.
I don't think it's going to make any difference on this case, but yeah.
Actually, I'm not think we'll turn.
Okay, just going to go straight forward. Do your full 10, 5, and then another. We'll have to move the wind gauge now, look. Oh dear. Oh dear. Okay. No, you can't. So that is turn 2 done.
Yep.
So do you want to roll again for the wind?
9.
That'll be nothing at all.
Okay.
So we continue with the same sequence, which will be the merchant ship followed by the frigate. That's exactly the same as last turn, won't it?
I wonder if the brig gets first go into this. This one. It's coming from like that. I wonder if he even gets to go before the merchant.
It depends if that's.
Oh, right, yeah.
No, I
Yeah,
think,
all right, yeah,
I think it's still 9. If I move much further, it probably will. Okay.
Enjoyed it. How's this going?
So the merchantment is going to move.
I saw in the works,
Oh, the book shop.
they had a battleship game, and you built your little pirate battleship in little sections. And some of them were like screens.
Did you buy said game?
No, I told you can buy it
Buy it for myself, yeah.
turn there.
Look at this guy, I've got this for Christmas.
Oh, it's one that thing, yeah. And then I move another 3 like that. Whoops. It's the problem. You start bashing the ships.
Ships moving all over the place.
So that's the merchantman finished. The frigate. What am I going to do with him? I think what I'm going to do with him.
Can you slow down? I'm just thinking.
You can drop to light sails if you wanted
You can
to.
do that without 3 times.
Yeah. But it takes effect from next. I don't know, so I'd have to check it whether it happens this turn or next turn.
Okay. Yeah.
I think it may do this turn actually. Yeah. But you can only obviously go up 1 category or down 1 category. You couldn't go from light sail to full sail.
Yeah.
So this fella is going to move jolly old 5 like that. And then he's going to turn like that. And move another 5. Oh, I can't quite. Oh, I'm almost on your T there. I'll do another little turn. Need a little turn, Betty. Like that. I'm nothing if not contemporary. I'm not contemporary at all. I think that is a raking shot.
Okay.
So I'm going to have a go at your brig.
Yep.
It is.
I fire at your brig.
I bet if I had your big brig, your little brig. my little brig is very, my little, yeah, whatever.
Something out. That is something out of it.
It is, it should be. If it isn't, it should be.
Yeah.
So I get 2 heavies,
Yep.
1 light and 1 carronade, but it is my first broadside,
Yep.
which gives me another light and another heavy.
Yikes. This could be painful.
I'm hoping so. I need to even it out a bit, don't I? So it's a 5 basic, that's what I said. Now I'm not firing as I go, I'm firing in my move, at the end of my move, so there's no penalty for that.
Yep.
It's not beyond 10 inches, so there's no negative there, but we're not yet point blank.
Yep.
I'm a regular crew member, so it makes no difference. Neither of us are at full sail. However, you are a small target, which makes it -1.
Okay.
So I'm down to 4s to hit.
Yep. Okay.
Let's see if we can do some damage. And I do get +1 for every hit. Because it's a raking shot. No critical, unfortunately. Oh, that was absolutely hopeless, really. So all I got out of that was a heavy and a cannonade.
Okay.
But it is 3 points for the cannonade and 2 points for the heavy. So that's 5 plus 2 more for the each hit. So 7 hits in total.
20 down to 13.
Okay. And you're striking at 7, wasn't it?
Yeah. Is that the one with the flag?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that's your chance.
Alright, I'm just going to swap these cards. Yeah, it's the middle one. So there's
5.
nothing funny going on, just
Shenanigans going on,
Yeah,
eh?
that's right. I'm distributing the damage between the ships.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
Right, so next up is your brig over the back there.
Yes.
He's the next one to fight, to move.
Right. So the wind is going sort of that way now.
It's coming, yeah, basically from that corner down. So you're.
Am I 5 or?
Hang on, you can only go one. You can only go light sail at the moment.
Okay.
Maximum 1 move because you're heading almost into the wind.
And then I'm going to turn.
Yeah. You keep wanting to put it at the front. Hello, mate.
How are we doing?
Oh, great.
Sorry, nothing for you tonight.
It's a grown-up pot noodle. What's going on?
It's a posh one, yeah? Oh, yes.
Yeah, you're nothing but class, you, aren't you?
That's me all over.
Okay. So the next one is the brig that I've just fired at.
So if I wanted to sail up close and board you,
Yeah. You can give it a go.
do I have to get side on to board?
No, you can go straight at me. As soon as you get within 3, there's a chance
Yeah,
we
let's do
can
that then.
try and...
I put the arse in class.
Yeah, you certainly do, mate. I've said that about you frequently.
Yeah, I'm saying, oh yes, they're playing this in Reading now.
Okay.
Yeah, so they started playing it in Reading.
So do I just move it?
So just move up to within... Do your move,
Takes me about there.
and then you'll attempt to grapple me.
Yeah.
Grapple me, great. Okay, that's a brave move for a brig to take on a frigate.
Dear.
Whatever. Now we've got to find the rule now. Hang on. Right. So you're attempting to grapple me, or attempt to board me, actually, aren't you?
Yep.
So both ships must be travelling either at light sail or battle sail, or be anchored.
Yep.
The hulls of both vessels must be within 3 inches of each other. All of that is there. The active ship takes a skill test. If successful, both ships immediately come to a stop and grapple.
The skill test is a 5 for me, is it?
Yeah. Okay, but you get +2 because you're a privateer. So 3. So you successfully grapple.
Why would you grapple someone bigger? Because I want to take him out of the game. Because my objective is to sink that. So these two go for the merchant ship, and he.
I see.
That's the plan. Could all end in tears.
Right.
Or ears.
So basically we come... Let me take the smoke away because it otherwise gets a little bit complicated. So we basically are locked side by side there now.
And I brought him to a board.
Well done. You done good work.
Now we do a boarding action now.
Ooh, this is fun.
Oh no, sorry, it's by 10. Sorry.
By 10. Wow.
Divide the current ship points by 10. So you were at what, 16?
13.
13.
So 1.3.
So 1.3, I think it's rounded up, so you get 2 dice basically. 2d10s.
Okay.
I'm on 36, which is 4 dice.
Could be. I have at least stopped him. As I sink, you say, well, at least I stopped him. Drag him down with you. Yeah.
Okay, so your boarding chance, we're both regular, so it's 5, where do we get to? So both ships have been grappled. Divide your current number of ship points by 10, and this gives the strength of each side involved. So you've got 2, I've got 4. On the first turn, the current activated ship gets +1 to hit. So basically that's like a charge bonus.
Okay.
So we're both regulars, which means we need 5s or less. You get +1, so you're 6 or less. Criticals count. And that's it.
Right. Both hit.
I got a critical. Well, in fact, I hit with everything. Yeah. So you got. Oh, I don't always, just lots of times.
Yeah, he does.
All right, does that? Yeah, I do. Oh, sorry. 1 doesn't inflict critical. Each hit reduces the hull strength by 2.
Yep.
And each 1 by 4. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 I take off you.
I'm striking. In fact, what does the 5 there signify? Is that
that's your movement.
Right, yeah, I'm striking then.
So you're into the striking
Yeah.
zone. So move, you haven't actually sunk though, have you?
No, not yet. No,
I've just taken 10 off.
So sorry, you did 10.
I did 10, yeah, I'm afraid.
Right. Still got 3 left.
So you now need to do a skill test
Yep.
to see whether you hang around.
Nice.
Which you do. So they're still there. They're
Yeah.
pretty knackered.
Yep.
They will lose effectiveness when they're firing now as well.
Okay.
Because they've got very few crew left.
Yep.
You've got 2 hits on me.
Indeed.
So that's 4 points of
Yep.
damage to my,
Okay.
which is not that bad for me. Okay. Surprise, surprise.
If I sail past you there
Yeah.
with this one,
Yeah.
can I rake your ship?
You can, but any hits will hit both ships.
Sink my own ship.
That seems to be your strategy tonight.
I think it is. So they stay locked in battle for the moment.
Sure, you don't come and get us close. How close can I get point blank range?
If you can get within 3 inches,
Yep.
that's when it's really effective.
So I've got to go 5.
It looks like you probably won't get a rake if you come within 3.
And then I've got to turn.
Yep.
Sorry, Bill.
It's alright. Whoa. Skidding on the bag
And
then.
that.
Yeah.
And then. Yeah. And 5 from there.
Yep. You're within
3.
looks like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give that a go.
So we've got shooting at grappled ships. You basically apply the same amount of damage to both ships,
Okay.
but there's no criticals.
Okay. No criticals.
Not any kamikaze, but you shoot your own.
I know. He's a pirate. So what do you expect? He's a pirate. Arr, Jim lad.
Don't worry, that'll be edited out.
I think it should be.
Well, that will be edited out.
So what do you get? What guns have you got on your thing?
I've got 2
2 heavies.
biggies.
Haven't you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
2 heavy dice, plus your initial broadside. We'll give you another one.
Yeah.
So basically, you're hitting on a 5. Point blank range is +2. 7.
Do you count as anchored now because you've stopped?
That's a good question.
I think you might. I think you do.
That would seem logical. So 8.
That's an 8.
I'm a medium target. So 8's to hit at the moment. Yeah, you can also fire musketry at me. If you successfully hit with your skill roll, you get an extra 3 damage.
Cool.
So, well, do it with that. Might as well roll at the same time.
All right, yeah.
So you're needing, what did we say? 8s, was it? 8.
I'm going to go high.
Okay, so that's minus 2.
Yeah.
So it's down to 6s.
Come on, boys.
Shame you didn't have a critical, isn't it? So 2 hits.
One of them is a critical. Yeah.
Yeah, you only get criticals on.
Oh, sorry. I
yeah.
took a point. Sorry.
So 2 hits,
Yep.
which is 4 points.
Yep.
And that probably will sink your own brig, because
Yep.
it's 4 points on him.
Yep. Down he goes.
Glug, glug, glug. And the musketry missed, didn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's it.
Okay.
So that brig has sunk.
Yep.
So we'll take that off.
Yep.
So next turn it. Next
Okay.
turn then. Do you want to roll for the weather?
8.
We continue. It's exactly the same as last time.
It's
So it's the merchantman,
first, yeah.
then I think it's your brig, it's probably the other brig, and then my frigate. So the merchantman, what shall I do with him? He only moves 3, as we know.
What's it carrying?
He's got loot on board that they're trying to get. He's got 3 lots of loot.
The carried layout.
Oh, there's the tourney thing. Oh, can you pass me the tourney thing?
Loads of these, mate.
Thanking you.
Loads of pop moves.
Loads of posh. I'm going to do a slight turn that way. Oh, ow bugger. Sunken. There goes all the treasure to the bottom of Davy Jones' locker.
To be found 200 years later.
There we go. I can't. That's on a funny old kink on the mat.
Yeah, you need to get one of those.
Proper ones. There we go. We'll go there.
Little investment for you there.
Thank you very much. See if I don't spend enough. I'll leave them just behind the ship, and then we know. And I might as well have a shot at your little brig, really. Go on, the crew from there. It's within 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's within 10, but. So I have on board the merchantman. I have can I have 2 of the large. Thank you. 2 large and 2 small guns. So I can't get initial broadside, can I?
No.
I'm a merchant, and I shouldn't really get that, I don't think. So,
The broadside box as well. Just about, I suppose.
oh, that's a good question, actually. Mind you, I could do another turn. In fact, I probably should do another turn at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, good point. So I'm needing 5s to begin with.
Yeah.
Um,
Not over 10.
I'm inexperienced, that's down to 3.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're a small target, I'm down to 2.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay.
I'm going to fire. No, if I go higher, I can't hit you. So I'm going for hull. Oh, I got critical. I'm sorry about that. Was it 3s, wasn't it? Or was it 2s?
2s.
2s. So only hit with 1 heavy.
To get a hit.
I know. I suppose statistically, the chances if you actually hit is going to be a critical, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's 2 points of damage to the brig.
This fella.
And damage-wise, it'd be helpful actually if they had a quick reference for the criticals.
Yes. No doubt that will be loaded up.
Yeah, exactly. I hope so. D6 worth, so extra structural damage. D3's worth of damage. No, only 1 more.
Okay. Thank you.
And that is him.
That's him done.
Him done for the turn.
Right. This fella.
That smoke can come off.
sailing 5, he's within 3, so he's going to try and board.
You're coming racing at me, are you?
Going to try and board again.
Fair enough.
So it's a skill test, is it?
It's a skill.
Move him up.
Well, you could continue to move if you want to. Mind you, if you do, I'll probably fire at you, so it might be better not to. You're within 3, you can attempt to grapple. So it's a skill test, but you get +2 because you're pirates.
Yep.
So you successfully grapple. So we move you in to there.
Would it get disordered the same as the rest of the game?
Locks in with the merchantman. So, now this time you get +2 on the attack as well, because pirates against merchantmen.
Right, yeah.
So you're basically, you're full strength, aren't you?
Yes.
So what are you, a 20 something?
20. Just
20, so you
yeah.
get 2 dice.
Yep.
But you get an extra 2 because you're a pirate.
Yep.
Arr. So how many you got 4 there? Or, no, okay. And I only get, actually I'm on 40 odd, so I get 4.
Sorry.
No, that's right. 44, so actually I get 5, so I do mine afterwards. So, but I'm going to be hitting a lot less than you. Boarding action. So you're regulars, so you're a 5 or less.
Okay.
You get +2 because you're a pirate attacking a merchantman. So sevens to basically to kill 2 men each time. If you get critical, it's 4.
Okay. 3 hits.
3 hits, so that's 6 points of damage on my ship.
Okay.
Brings them down to 38. And I guess I take use my now condition to respond.
Sorry.
No, actually, I was wondering whether the casualties reduce my attack back.
That's an interesting question.
But it says you do it at the same time, so well, it says you get the same number of dice. So I get 5 dice, don't I? Yeah. So I'm inexperienced. I need 4 or less. Whoops. Oh my goodness! I've got 3 hits.
So 6.
So 6 points of damage to you.
All right.
So the ship that took the least amount of damage is considered to be the winner of the round. The ship that took the most damage is now, if it's less than half, it does a skill test to see whether it surrenders.
Sorry, you did 6, didn't you?
I did 6 on you.
And I did 6 on you.
So it was a draw in terms of casualties, so we stay as we are. I'll just check the scenario, whether that means you can capture any of the stuff or whether you have to actually defeat me. Oh, you have to win a boarding action. Okay. So it was a draw.
Alright.
Right, okay.
Right.
So, but you have got me grappled.
Okay.
It's a bit tricky.
Yeah.
So the next ship along was your other brig.
Right, he's gonna.
Yeah, get it out the way.
And I guess he can turn at the end.
Yeah.
And he'll get within 3. And he'll grapple the other side, yeah. He'll grapple the other side.
We're going to try again the other side. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So you need, again, what was it? Skill test +2. So, yeah, that does it. So, let's move the smoke out of the way. So I think basically you come in that side.
Yeah.
Now we're going to have to look up the rules for double grappling. My goodness me. So, multiple grapples. If more than 2 ships are involved in a grapple, add the ship points of each together.
Yeah.
The side with the greatest number get +2. When you attempt to board ships that are already part of a grapple, consider all grappling targets as... Okay. So basically, we play it with you going in this turn, then next turn all your crew fighters won, basically.
Right.
I think is how I read that.
Okay.
So you get 2 dice
Yep.
plus your 2 for being
Yeah.
nasty pirates.
Sevens.
7s, wasn't it? Yeah.
I think. And regulars, so plus 2, yeah, 7.
Yeah, so your regular would be 5, you get plus 2 because you're pirates against the merchantmen.
4 hits.
4 hits. Actual 4 hits times by 2, isn't it? So 8 points of damage. You're whittling me down. I'm down to 30 now. I'm not sure what I do about this. I'm going to have to bring my ship in to ungrapple you. And I fight back with. Can I have 2 more dice,
Yeah.
please? No, I started.
Yeah.
No, I only
Yeah,
get,
no, I think you're down.
just 1 more dice, I think.
4 now.
And I'm inexperienced.
So it's
4s.
4.
Still managed to do. So that's 4, 5, 6 again.
Yeah.
Actually 7, 8 because I got another
So
one.
it's a draw.
So it's a draw again. Yeah.
I've got the other ship in.
He's got both of his pirates in on my merchantman. And I'm getting lucky dice to surprise to actually hold on. So that's your piratal action done.
Yeah.
Now my frigate, who seems to be a bit out on the limb now, isn't he? What do I do with him? He might just wander off and leave you to it. I don't think so.
Handbrake turn.
He's got to try and do a handbrake turn, hasn't he? But then it might end up heading back into the wind. Okay.
And also, if you fire up, he's going to hit his own.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah. Mind you, they've got more hit points than
I
you.
suppose you could wait until it breaks up, the fight breaks up, and then fire
Try and sink you as you.
as it all breaks up.
Turn like that. Do the other 5.
Oh, he started from a standing start, didn't he?
Oh,
so
he
can only
did.
do the 1 move.
So yes, that's true. He did, didn't he? You're quite right. Yeah. Yes, because the Gripperly. Yeah, you're quite right. We've forgotten about that. Because your brig had sunk. I've forgotten he was there. So, in which case I can only do 1 move. I'm going up to battle sail.
Yes.
And I will do another turn at the end. Just in readiness, hopefully.
How's the coaching?
15 or 16 there tonight, it's good.
You know, I think I'm going to fire at your brig.
Okay.
I know it will spread across them all,
Yeah.
but I reckon I've got more hit points than you.
Yeah, fair enough.
So I'm going to try it.
So do we split the damage 3 ways or 2 ways?
Whatever I damage goes across all 3 ships. So if I do 6, 6, 6, 6.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's not 2, 2, 2.
But I think I'm out of 10. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I'm just about out of 10. So it is basically only. Can I have a blue dice? Thanking you. It's only going to be my. Oh no, hang on. What did I say? The Rangers were 17. So the lights are in range as well. So it's 2 heavies and 1 light gun. It's 5 to hit. Long range is 3.
Yeah.
You're a small target. It's 2.
Can you go high?
I don't think so.
It's got 1.
And I got 1. Now it isn't a critical because it can't be when you're firing at a grapple target. So it's just 2 points of damage on all 3 ships.
Okay.
Well, now it's next turn. So it's turn whatever it is. Change wind to weather. No change.
Yeah.
So the first targets is going to be the grapple.
Yeah.
It's basically the melee.
Yeah.
So we do it as 1 big
Yeah.
melee now.
Yeah.
Your ships, how many have you got? You combine your crews basically of what's left.
What's left? Yeah. So we've got 1 and 2. So it's 3 dice.
3 dice. Plus you get 2 more anyway.
Oh yeah.
2 more anyway, because you're a pirate.
Yep.
I'm on 28, which gives me 3 dice.
Okay.
Blue one, thank you very much.
Ooh, you got more dice. This is your moment to go on.
So you are on 7s again, aren't you?
Yeah. Come on, boys.
Just low or high? 1 to 7.
Low. Yeah, up to it's a 10-sider, so.
Come on, boys. 4.
4 hits, which is 8 points of damage. Which brings me down to 20. 5 points off striking.
Ooh.
Strike.
Place of surrendering.
Striking.
Strike your colours. I need 4s. And I did precisely nothing. So, what did we say? So I did less damage, which means you won the melee, obviously. So I need to do a skill test,
Okay.
or I surrender to you, which could be exactly what you want. So I'm inexperienced, which means I need 6.
No.
So I surrender, which means you capture all the goodies.
Get those pot noodles open, lads.
So you now need to try and get off with it. So you've got 3 there. You can put them on whichever ones you want.
Okay.
Put them all on 1 or 2 on 1. And
Yeah. I mean, I've got to get 2 off, haven't I?
yeah.
You get 1. Must be a partial. Sure.
I would have thought so. I think we will split.
There'll be an inquiry at the Admiralty, that's for sure. So the merchantman's basically surrenders there.
Okay.
Or you probably kill all his crew and all sorts of lovely stuff that you do. So that's all their activations done, so it's now the frigate back. Still okay for the wind direction. Just. So I'm now at battle speed again. Just try and get that on camera rather than that would help really, wouldn't it? Not good for the viewers who suddenly disappear off the screen. And then I'll do that.
Desperately trying to turn.
Desperately trying to turn around, yeah. And do another 5. The problem is I can't really turn that way.
No.
Because otherwise I'll go into the wind. So I go to there. The wind's coming that way, so I could do a little bit of a turn. Like that. And I'm going to fire. It's a long range. It's beyond 10. It's not beyond 10. But it's beyond normal range. So I get 2 heavies, 1 light, and 1 cannonade. That's in range now.
Is it 10 inches?
It's beyond 10 inches. Sorry, it's under 10 inches. Yeah. Is it 8? Just double check.
No, you're fine. I think it might be just outside 8.
So I don't get the cannonade. Yeah. So it's 5s. It's 5s. Your small target, so 4s. One light hit, so it's 1 point of damage. That's all. Now, technically, it should go on everything, but given the fact you won the melee, I suspect you shouldn't get it on everything else, don't you?
Yeah, I think so.
Right then, next turn. Do you want a dice for the weather or the wind?
10.
Oh, that could be something.
Sadly, no change.
Is it? That's what it says. Okay.
I start from a standing start.
So it's going to be basically both your brigs first.
Yeah. Now, do I?
So you Do what?
And which end do you have to get off the table?
Any edge at all. Yeah. But remember, you can't really come that way because the wind.
Cheered me up a bit. Well, I thought I was going to have to get off down where I
No, it said any edge for you. I had to get off there, but you can get off anywhere you like.
And I can't turn before I get going, can I?
No.
And presumably I've got to head off in the direction I came in.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. Remember, you'll only go to light speed because you're getting from a standing start.
So why did you put 2 on the one that's going in the same direction as the frigate?
Because he had more hit points.
Yeah, but the other one's going the other way.
I know. I'm realising the error of my ways.
The other one's going that way.
But I can't turn him round very easily. I'll fire as I go.
Okay.
So I'll fire and then I'm going to turn.
Fair enough.
If I turn, can I look what a turn would look like? Something like that. You're completely out.
Yeah, I would definitely fire before you. But it would have to be only because you're only going to do one anyway, aren't you? So yeah, you'd have to be firing through. So what's the range?
8, I think.
It's just you haven't got a cannonade anyway, so it doesn't matter. So it's basically your what have you got? 1 heavy and 1 light.
Two heavies.
2 heavies to fire. It's 4s. No, yeah, 4s. Firing as you go is 2s.
And the other reason I put 1 on that one is because I thought his last shot was under.
Sorry?
Whose make are they?
These are Warlord's ones. Yeah. The big ship is 3D printed somewhere, but the others are all Warlord ones.
Crazy logic you're heading towards his big gun.
I know.
Yeah, cheers.
I know.
They're nice. I've enjoyed doing them. Fiddly as hell though.
Nothing.
Nothing at all.
It's his first volley.
So you get another heavy.
Yeah. I'll roll one of these, yeah.
Oh no, you get a light, sorry. You get a light cannon. Still missed. And then you do your little turn at the end, yeah?
Sorry, mess everywhere.
Well, that stays where it is, so.
Right, this guy's going to...
He's going to head the other way.
He could even fire a cheeky shot before he goes.
Might as well.
I think he might.
Cheeky boy.
Cheeky shot.
You're doing your first shot as well on that side, I think.
Yes, it is first shot.
Because he hasn't fired, has he? None of them just went straight into combat. So you're going to be same as last time. It's going to be 4s, 2s.
No, I think
Still missed.
Yeah.
You're pirates, goddammit. You're not for shooters. There we go. The merchantman doesn't move because it's surrendered. Its crew have been butchered.
Piracy, that's what it is.
So the frigate.
The frigate's going to wreak his revenge.
He's going to try. So we go 5.
There's no submarines in this, is there?
No, sadly not. Can I borrow the churny thing?
Yeah. It's Cruel Seas got subs in it.
No.
Cruel Seas has got subs.
Oh, has it? I thought it was bigger, smaller scale battles.
They do have subs. Not really. I think that's not used.
A little turn like that.
I played a couple of Cruel Seas games already.
I enjoy it.
It's okay, yeah. I've actually played 2. I like the models. The models are lovely.
Yeah.
So these are better, are they?
Yeah. I think Dom's
I wouldn't play too much Smart
now. Okay. Well, whoever did. It's only getting bigger. Whoever did them, I don't know who did them.
Master craftsman, I think.
Probably got his daughter to do that.
Yeah.
I keep trying to persuade her to because she'd probably do a good job, better than I would. Right, I've turned into the wind, which stops me, basically, for next turn, but I think I've got to really to try and have a go at your brig, try and sing him. We might have to measure this. I think you're just beyond 10, you lucky turn, so.
You know what you're doing, you've got the rules, haven't you? You ain't going to buy them.
I am going to buy them. I think it's a good game. Good fun.
So I get 2 heavies and 1 light.
Yep.
It's 4s, long range, 2s, small target, 1s. I need 1. How much health have you got left? Not much.
He's got 12.
Oh god, I can't get him, can I? I think you're going to win this one. Nothing. I missed you. So that's our turn for this turn. So now weather. See if the wind changes. No. So priority is going to be me again.
It's coming from there.
Oh no, hang on. Yes, you're quite right. So it's going to be your brig there, then it's me, then that brig.
I can go up to battle speed.
No, you can only do light because the wind direction.
And then we might turn. Actually, I suppose I could fire again, a cheeky shot.
Yeah, we might as well.
Might as well, and then turn afterwards.
So it's 2 heavies. Your long range, because it's beyond 10, it's going to be. No, forget it.
I won't waste your time.
No. And then you do your little turny thing. There you go. Could do with 2 turny things, that's the only thing. Mind you, I suppose if somebody else buys the kit, you'll have 2 anyway, that way.
I'm buying the kit, I think.
Yeah?
Whether I buy it at Reading, or maybe I need to buy it now to paint the stuff up.
Yeah, see.
This guy can go up to battle.
Alright, well I move next with my frigate, because it's the priority.
Fair point.
Yeah. But I can't move because I'm now pointing to the wind.
Oh, yeah.
So all I'm going to do is do a little cheeky turn, like that, which at least will allow me to move next go, and I'll have a shot at you.
Okay.
I will have, can I have 2 of the blue dice, please? I only have 3 dice. I have 2 heavies, 1 light, but it is needing 1s. You've got 1! Ooh, but it's only 1 point of damage, but it is a critical. Let's find the chart. And it's a 6. Oh, that's got to be bad, hasn't it? A 6 has got to be bad. I need some luck here to stop you running off the table. 6. Oh, there's a fire on board. The shot sparked a fire on board. Hang on, let's.
The one with 2 treasure on.
Yeah.
Oh yes, well done, John. Excellent decision. Yes, I know.
So you're on fire, Jim lad. So what happens? Page 26 for the effect of that. Let's have a look then, shall we? We're in trouble. You could be in trouble with that, actually, in all seriousness. So ships on fire due to critical or being basically also if anything gets within an inch of it, they can be set on fire by ship that's on fire. So
Why don't you ram this I think I will. Use it as a fire ship. Exactly like they did with the tri-wings.
when
And the Armada.
as soon as you catch fire, you roll a d3 for a small target.
Right.
There you go. And you do that amount of extra damage, so 2 more damage.
So the hit would have done 2 already. wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So 2.
Oh no, only 1 it would have done because it was only a light gun.
Okay,
So
down
it's
to
3 in
9,
total.
Yeah.
And then every subsequent activation,
Yeah.
the crew must try and put the fire out. If they're successful, no more damage. If they're not, another d3 worth of damage. In addition, if you rolled an unmodified skill test of 1, it blows up. And anything close would also get the effect. So that's
Okay.
that turn. So now your brig, your other
Right.
brig.
The other brig, I think, can move.
That can now go to battle speed. So it can do 10.
Shame that's got all the treasure on it.
Right then, so next turn. Oh, you're already moving. Sorry, you're still moving.
Really think about running away.
I think that brig's going to get away somehow.
Yeah.
There's not much I can do about him. Merchant doesn't go anywhere. So next turn then, do you want to roll for the wind?
5.
No change.
Okay. So I'm first, but I'm sailing into the wind.
So the brig is first that's on fire. He now needs to do a skill test.
may not even have another.
He passes it, so he puts the fire out. Basically, he wouldn't be allowed to shoot when he does that, but that's fine. But as you say, you're pointing into the wind, which means you can't move anywhere. All you can do is turn. I don't know where the turny thing's gone. Oh, this thing. Okay. So all you can do is a little turny if you want to. Oh, I thought I had you there. Oh, you're not near your striking number, are you yet?
I'm close. I'm 2 away.
You might get off the table, yeah.
You might do.
Right, I know. So I can turn like that,
Yeah.
or like that.
As long as you get some kind of angle on it, you're fine.
And if you fire at my back,
Yeah.
do you rake the ship?
I do, but I'd have to fire right up the jacksy, and I don't think I can from where I am at the moment.
But if I turn that way, you're going to get a broadside straight away on me anyway. So.
Yeah,
Although it would allow me to fire broadside back at you.
you would. Although you can't this go anyway because you've just put the fire out.
Yeah. I'll go that way.
You're going that way.
We're going to have to take a risk. And
Okay.
see what happens. Okay. Because I'm sailing into the wind, you become stationary.
Basically slowed to a stop by the wind. We've got both got a problem here. We're both trying to tack against the wind and we can't. Okay, so it's the frigate next.
Yeah.
I can only do a light sail move because I'm up against the wind. So I'm going to do my full 5 to there. I'll do a turny. Even though that pushes me straight into the wind again.
Yeah.
I think I've got to.
How are you liking them so far?
It's good fun.
Good.
Yeah.
Are you going to keep with it?
I won't throw it away just yet.
No.
Really nice dimension to it.
I think we are in 10 there.
I think you are.
Yeah, coming from that corner to that corner, basically. So I'm still out of cannonade range, which is annoying. So I've got 2 heavies and a light. It's going to be 4s, small target 3s. Ooh,
I think that's probably going to do it. Yeah.
that's a critical with 2 points of damage. So
So I'm down to my strike value already.
let's see what the critical does. 2. Yeah, I'm going to have to photocopy the critical, I think, because it's
Yeah.
annoying. Keep trying to find it.
Or stop rolling once.
Well, I could do that. And that's a gun deck hit.
Oh no.
Well, see if it matters whether you strike your colours or not.
So it's a skill test, is
So
it?
it's skill test.
Come on, boys.
No, they strike their
Yeah,
colours.
fair enough.
So, yeah. And what would happen normally is if they were moving, they'd continue doing one move,
Okay.
and then that would be, they basically stay there like the merchantman is now. Really, there's nothing I can do to stop that one getting off the table.
Did you put it on YouTube?
So he gets off, but that one doesn't.
Yeah.
So I think that's a slight victory to me, according to the with that lucky last couple of shots, really, wasn't it? So there you go. That was the end of the game. Purely fluky me. They're all ribbing me at the end of that I always seem to win when I'm doing videos, and it's funny. I've never won so much in my life. I must keep doing videos. But I think I snuck a win there. That last ditch shot at the privateer at long range, getting a critical hit and then another critical hit the next turn, just did enough to make him strike his colours and mean that he didn't get away with 2 of the loots. He should have put both loots in the other ship and then one in one ship, or put all 3 in the other ship, and he probably could have got away with it all. But Jonathan didn't. He wasn't really thinking straight, I don't think, there. The brig that got away, there was no way I was going to catch that. I was having to head into the wind, and he had a head start. There was no way I was going to catch him if he'd put all the loot on board that one. But he didn't. He put 2 in one and 1 in the other, and the one that got away only had the 1, and the one I made strike its
sails, strike its colours, I would have recaptured and recaptured the loot. So I lost my merchantman, sunk one brig, captured another brig, and got 2 of the 3 loot. Really fun game though. I hope you enjoyed it. It was great fun, and it just illustrates that these rules are very, very simple to pick up, but actually quite challenging to master. And I think the added rules add something to it without making it overly complicated. We didn't play all the extra rules. I think next time I will certainly try and play a few more, and probably bring in some of the big ships of the line, because obviously these were just frigates and brigs we were playing with, which is all you get in the Master and Commander set. But it's all you need really to learn the rules, and that's perfect. So I have some third rates, some more frigates, so lots of extra stuff to play with. So I'm really looking forward to getting my next game in. So hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so, and enjoy your games. Have fun. Try not to take it all too seriously, and I will see you again soon. This is Dom signing out.